Hey, Sweethearts and Heroes family, Tom Murphy here. I got a couple of my sweethearts and heroes with me today, and we wanted to give a special message to the students and the families at the great school, Ligonier Valley in Pennsylvania. We had the amazing blessing of being with that school last year, Rick and I, and we shared our message of Sweethearts and Heroes. And today, we got a chance in the middle of New York State to be at what school, Mike?
Fillmore Central.
Fillmore Central School. What an amazing school you got here, Mike. I want to thank you for letting us be here today with your students.
Absolutely.
Trusting us with them. But we're really here to reach out and to maybe give a little bit of hope, Rick, to a school, to one of our favorite schools that's really facing some adversity. They had one of their sweethearts, Nick, unfortunately leave them. And how heartbreaking, how tragic. And Rick, you understand hope and hopelessness on another level, and you actually lost someone right next to you, September, 7 days later?
Yeah, September 7th, 2006.
And but what do you got, man? What do you got? The world's hope expert
Sure.
For this family and for the school.
Yeah, so basically, I know it's a difficult time for all of you, and there's not a whole lot of words that will get you through this moment right now. It's a difficult spot you're in. Adversity is what you're dealing with, and difficulties, and there's not a whole lot that can be said to just like make everything better. And I think we know that, but it kind of goes back to the hope, the word hope. Hold on, possibilities exist. Maybe we won't concentrate so much on the possibilities exist part, but the hold on. Because if you hold on long enough, and you say his name enough times and talk about him every single day, man, nobody will ever forget him. And that's one of the most important things. I noticed the football team. I saw he was on the football team. And I saw that they brought his jersey out, number 73. And actually, I wore number 73 in high school. And after I was injured, all the players from my old team, I graduated, 8 years earlier or so, or 6 years earlier. Yeah. All the players from that current year, they wore my number on their helmet. Wow. Every game. So I think it was important to just show everybody how much you all cared for him. And don't stop. And I think sometimes it's easier to think, you know what, if we don't say his name as much, it'll be easier to deal with. And I think it's the exact opposite. The more you can say his name. I mention Sergeant Montez's name every single day. There's rarely a day that goes by that I don't mention his name to myself and to everybody else, just so I get to hear who he was, because he was an amazing person.
11 years ago, man.
11 years ago.
And I've been hearing his name every day, every presentation that we've been doing.
Absolutely. And just as everybody should hear Nick's name.
Yeah. So thanks, Rick, man. World Hope expert Rick Yarish. I got to meet an unbelievable principal today, and he's got too much humility. He's not going to think that he's an unbelievable principal. But this guy, speaking of football, former football player, I know that my alma mater, Brockport, used to beat up yours, right?
Yeah, well, something like that, but the opposite.
And well, thanks for being here, Mr. Dodge. Now, your story, we could not have decided to make this little message at a better school. Yeah. When I came in here and I said, tell me your story, it's one of the first things I say to a principal, I almost fell over because your story is almost too hard to even conceptualize. And talk about hopelessness. Mike, why don't you give our friends at Ligonier Valley your story and what you can salvage out of what you've been through?
Sure. Well, when I was 16 years old, 1991, my mom and I went to the grocery store together, and it was early May, so I was gonna take my mom to the store, go play some basketball after that, and go see my girlfriend maybe later if I was lucky. Coming home from the grocery store, we lived about 3 miles out of town. Driving on the country road, car comes over Knoll coming at us. Didn't see one stopped in front of him, so he swerves. Instantly, I never saw him. Head-on collision. The only thing I remember is waking up. I fractured my femur. Look over, my mom's laying up against the dashboard of the car. I see some blood coming out her ear, and I'm trying to wake her up, and she just wouldn't wake up. And I'm screaming out, waking up in and out. And I remember the fire company showing up, and cutting the top of the car off, taking me to the hospital, waking up in the emergency room, and you know, that was the day. Changed my life for sure in an instant. And how do you get through something like that? Well, I didn't know. You know, from there it was, you know, after watching your presentation today, it was hope, I guess, you know, and doing what, you know, trying to make more right decisions than bad decisions, and having sweethearts along the way that I didn't know were sweethearts. You know, sometimes it might have been a girlfriend, sometimes it was my father, sometimes it was my stepmom. Other times it was just best friends, brothers, people on my football team, and then it's people I met through life. And just taking the best from each person I met and pulling from it and getting from one goal to the next goal, and one goal to the next goal. And now I have a beautiful wife and 2 kids, 12 and 8, you know, and I wouldn't change a thing in the world. You know, there were definitely days after the accident where I wanted to give up. You know, I wanted to quit and give in and not be around anymore. And thank God I didn't, because every day I wake up and I kiss my kids and off I go to work, and I work in the school, and hopefully I change lives every day. That's why I do what I do.
Wow.
So, and you know, I mean, it wasn't an easy road. Along that road too, one of my biggest sweethearts, I didn't even tell you this part, was my stepmom. She was always there for me. And then in the early 2000s, she developed ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and I watched her pass. And that was, again, another link out of the chain, you know.
Wow.
Again, what do? You pick things up and you keep going forward, and you just keep, you know that life's going to get better, and you make a positive difference.
In the end, you get through it or you don't.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Two options. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, man. I think a lot about, you know, why do we have this thing called pain, whether it's physical pain or emotional pain. And I think one of the beauties of pain is it just reminds us of all the special things and all the miraculous things that we do have. And it, even though it hurts and it's, you know, sometimes we don't know what to do with it, maybe it's there for a reason, I don't know. What was your mom's name, man?
Mary Jane.
Mary Jane.
Yeah.
I bet you think her name all the time, huh?
Yeah, MJ. Yeah.
MJ.
She was quite a woman.
I bet she was, Mike. Because you wouldn't be who you are without her.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
Mike Dodge, Rick Yarish, I'm very fortunate to be surrounded by 2 amazing 16th century bullies. May not be who I am tomorrow, Mike, because of you and your story, and to remember the beauty that's in my life every day, even though that some things come and some things go. Ligonier Valley, we love you, we care about you. Tons of free hugs for you.
Absolutely. Thinking about you constantly.
Stay strong, Ligonier Valley. Number what, Rick? Number
73.
73 all the way.